Puerto Rico has given the world pina coladas, salsa, and one of the most influential musicians alive today. But Bad Bunny isn't just another superstar. He's a $100 million brand. He's an empire that grew from a small island and somehow went on to dominate the world stage. From his SoundCloud beginnings to selling out stadiums, from painting his nails to rewriting masculinity in Latin music, Bad Bunny's rise is more than about his music. It's a masterclass in branding, culture, and authenticity. And today we're going to break down exactly how Benito Antonio Martínez Ocasio, better known as Bad Bunny, built his global empire, and why every founder and creator can learn from his playbook. So let's start all the way in the beginning. Benito was born in Vega Baja, a small coastal town in Puerto Rico. His mom was a school teacher and his dad drove trucks for a living. And Benito, he sang in church's choir when he was little. And like most kids, he was expected to follow the safe path. But instead, he uploaded songs early in SoundCloud in around 2013. This pure, rough, and raw reggaeton beats under the name of Bad Bunny. And you might be wondering why the name. Well, he once wore a bunny costume as a kid in school, and he hated it so much, and when a photo resurfaced, he turned it into his alter ego. And it stuck. And that's the first lesson in branding, that sometimes the story that you don't like become the symbol that people remember you for. And by 2016, his track D-List caught attention. And soon he was collaborating with big names like Cardi B on I Like It or with Drake on Mia. But here's the thing though, he wasn't chasing the mainstream music. It was actually pulling the mainstream towards him. He was using Spanish lyrics, using Puerto Rican slang, and he's being unapologetically himself. And this is crucial because in an industry that told Latino artists that they have to sing in English if they want global reach, Bad Bunny doubled down on Spanish. And right around the 2020 era, he became Spotify's most streamed artist in the world. Not once, but 3 years in a row. And that became his first pillar of his brand. He went for authenticity over assimilation. Instead of trying to be like everybody else and diluting who he really was, he stuck to who made him himself, and he actually amplified his brand because of that. Now let's get into his strategy, because authenticity alone doesn't scale you into a $100 million brand. So Bad Bunny carefully crafted his disruptive brand move. And the first thing is his fashion and identity. In the world of reggaeton, a genre that is usually criticized for their hyper-masculinity, Bad Bunny went the other way. He painted his nails, he wore skirts, and he challenged gender stereotypes. Some fans didn't like it, some fans didn't just listen to him, they saw actually themselves in him. He gave his fans permissions for self-expression. Now the second strategy that he did was partnerships. Now Bad Bunny really loved his Adidas, so because of this, he ended up doing a sneaker collab with Adidas that instantly sold out. He also became a Calvin Klein ambassador in 2025, and this campaign alone reached 56 million views in just 48 hours. 2 days. This is 48 hours. He then did collabs with Crocs, with Corona, with WWE, and each of these collaborations expanded his brand into a whole new world. But here's where it gets interesting. None of these felt like just typical cash grab that a musician typically go after. And the reason why is because they align with his persona. A lot of the brands are playful, a lot of them are disruptive, or they're actually culturally rooted, something that Bad Bunny actually stands for himself. And the third strategy that he implemented was music as a culture. Now in his 2024 album, Debí Tirar Mis Fotos, he fused the world of reggaeton with his traditional Puerto Rican sounds. He implemented bomba, plena, jibaro. Instead of chasing the trends of what sounds are popular, he redefined a whole genre. And because of this, fans doesn't see him as someone that's just selling tracks to get on top of the next trend. He was actually exporting Puerto Rican culture and packaging it as a part of his global identity. Now here's where Bad Bunny really shines. Now in 2022, his tour El Último Tour del Mundo made history. Now, this chapter is where Bad Bunny stopped being just an artist and became an unstoppable global force. Over $170 million gross, becoming the highest grossing tour by a Latin artist at the time. But that was just the beginning. Later that year, the world's hottest tour smashed even bigger records. 2.6 million tickets sold in a single week, and the total gross is estimated nearly $400 million. And to put that into perspective, that's way bigger than Rolling Stone's last tour, bigger than Coldplay, and bigger than anything that the Latin music industry had ever seen. And here's the genius part. He priced his tickets in Puerto Rico lower than US venues, so local fans could actually afford the tickets. This allows him to still scale up profits through global touring. But now let's talk about his residencies. His most recent No Me Quiero Ir de Aquí residency in San Juan was not just a concert series. It was actually a national event. He had over 30 shows, 400,000 tickets gone in just 4 hours. Hotels across San Juan reported record bookings. Economists say that the residency generated anywhere between $200 to over $300 million to Puerto Rico's economy. It created thousands of jobs, restaurants that are packed, and tourism that are spiking through the roofs. Literally, Bad Bunny lifted an entire island's economy because of his music. But beyond the money, his residency actually had a deeper meaning. The shows weren't just for the music, they were actually stories being told. He used the local stage to highlight the Puerto Rican culture, the bomba dancers, the plena rhythms, and even references to political protests and the irresponsible tourism in Puerto Rico. It was actually a huge reminder that Puerto Rico isn't just a playground, it's a political message. And the whole residency was a reminder and a political statement to bring in issues that Puerto Ricans care about. And that's where Bad Bunny separates himself. Other artists would just be selling music, but Benito, he wants to sell belonging. He wants to sell the culture of Puerto Rican identity. Fans don't buy tickets just to see Bad Bunny, but they want to be a part of that culture. And the thing is, identity is tricky in branding. That's why fans like to camp out for days, like to tattoo his lyrics, or even cry in the crowd. It's the reason why Bad Bunny can drop an album without a warning and still break streaming records. Even Spotify said it themselves. In 2020, 2021, and 2022, 3 years in a row, he was the most streamed artist globally. He beat Drake, Taylor Swift, BTS, and even global titans with English language catalogs. And he did it while still staying true to his Spanish-first roots, without any translations needed. This is literally the story of the power of culture packaged as a brand. And that's why his dominance is more than just a music. It's a whole movement. So what can we learn from Bad Bunny's $100 million empire? Well, the first lesson is we want to lead with authenticity, even if it costs you in the short term. When labels pressured him to release more commercials, English-friendly music, he refused. He stuck with his values and doubled down on Spanish. This short-term risk, but it ended up being his long-term strategic dominance. A lot of businesses and founders trying to dilute the story to try to appeal to everyone. The second lesson is your culture is your superpower. He built his brand on Puerto Rican identity, the slangs, the symbols, the music styles, and that gave his fans something bigger than music to hold on to. Because culture spreads faster than any marketing could ever would, because it taps into the pride and belonging of all of us as humans. And the third lesson is expanding your brand into ecosystems, not just products. So for Bad Bunny, music is just the front door. And behind it are collaborations with brands like Adidas, fashion campaigns, and even WWE cameos. He didn't just stay in one lane, and because of this, he's able to spread his brand all around the world and all across different mediums. Now, the fourth lesson is using your platform for a purpose. Now, we can see this from his recent residency because he wasn't afraid to highlight Puerto Rico's struggles. He openly criticized the government corruption and irresponsible tourism that might have scared off brands. But instead, it actually made him more trusted with his audience. Because today, audiences doesn't just want the gleam and the stars. They want leaders who actually stand for something. And lesson number 5 is making experiences, not just transactions. Bad Bunny did everything from surprise album drops to stadium tours. Every single interaction with his brand feels like an event. And founders can steal this too. Don't just launch any product, launch a movement. Don't just sell a service, sell a whole story. And this is the reason why Bad Bunny isn't just an entertainer. He's a great case study in how identity, community, and strategy can scale into a multi-$100 million global empire. So I'll leave you with this. Bad Bunny proved that you can build one of the most powerful brands on earth by leaning into that identity, not away from it. And the question is, if your brand was a movement, what identity would it represent? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video.